Starfinders, and welcome back to my channel. I know you've got a lot of choices when it comes to flying the YouTubes, guys, so we're super grateful that you're here flying with us. After all, what other airline serves this much ramen? I know my content has been very ramen themed lately. That is my vacuum. I know my content has been very ramen themed lately, and that is because it is my favorite food. I apologize if this is not your jam, but there are other airlines to fly on the YouTube sky. That's the case. Something great and terrible has happened. What happened with the Tokyo Treat box has now happened with the Zenpop box. I got 2 boxes in a week, and that means I have, what, like 14 ramens to eat, and worse things could happen. But let's review this box one at a time like we always have. Grabbing my box. This month's box is July's, so that's not bad. And it is the Summer Nights pack, which is exciting. I already see something with cheese in it, so you know that's where my brain is going to go. The first thing that jumps out at me is this yakisoba. It looks delicious. It looks like takoyaki. That can't be right. It's a mustard mayonnaise. It's a mustard mayonnaise yakisoba. Tell me how it tastes, future Sasha. All right, time to try the mustard mayonnaise yakisoba. The yakisobas are super fun because they are aesthetically very pleasing. Check it out. I will say this is a little weird because it smells like a deviled egg. So let's give it a try. Okay, all right, it's a little weird, but it's good. So savory, it's got that dark sauce base. The mustard is more of a hot mustard, so that goes super well with the noodles. It's very tangy. I'm gonna give the packaging a 9 because it's got the cool draining thing on the other side, so you don't have to worry about losing your noodles. I'm gonna give the top, the broth slash seasoning an 8. And the toppings an 8 as well, standard cabbage affair, and the noodles a 9 because they're yakisoba noodles and delicious. But yeah, this was a super kind of fun, different thing that I would not have picked up off the shelf for myself. So I love it. Looks like we got 2 yakisobas this week. This is, or this month. This is the Mochichi Yakisoba. It has a shio sauce. It looks very fun. The mochichi is supposed to be onomatopoeia for how chewy the noodles are. So future Sasha, are these chewy? Please let me know. Ooh, let's try these Mochichi Yakisoba homestyle noodles. It's so soft, no broth, but we'll judge on the seasoning. Toppings look great. There's some cabbage and carrots. I'll give it a 7 since they're in there. It is a shiotari yakisoba, so pretty salty. Okay, the seasoning has a pepper in it, and it's like really good. It's like such a nice change of pace from the typical ramen and yakisoba that you eat, being typically very savory, umami, and not very spicy at all. Not that pepper is spicy, but yeah, no, it's a spice. So I like it a lot. So I'll give the seasoning a 9, and the packaging, it's pretty cute. It does seem to lead on that there's gonna be way more vegetables than there actually are in it, but we won't knock it down too much for that, so we'll give it an 8. And the noodles themselves are very chewy, which makes this a fun experience, so I'm gonna give them a 10. Back to you, Past Sasha. This is a very traditional ramen that I think I've seen before, at least in my life. It is a seafood noodle. This is the brand that I like that has the curry one as well. It's just called Cup Noodle. Imagine that. This apparently has squid as a topping, so future Sasha, let me know how that is. Ooh, it's traditional seafood cup noodle time. Hey, these toppings are phenomenal. Check that out. It's sexy. Got some crab. Pretty sure some octopus got involved in this. Fluffy egg, cabbage. This is a ramen that's pretty easily attainable in Nashville, but you know, it's pretty creamy looking. I'm gonna give the packaging a 10 because it's classic. I love that. Toppings, I think a 10 because seafood. These noodles, I can already tell you, are some of my favorites. Yeah, like a solid 8 on those noodles because they are like the thin little crispy guys. Let's try a piece of crab or imitation crab. Love it. That's good. Tried the egg. All right, creamy broth time. The broth's pretty good. It's like wildly good, actually. I'm gonna give that broth a 9. This is a really good ramen. Back to you, Past Sasha. Next up, we've got a Kitsune Udon. I'm super excited about this. I had Kitsune Udon when we were on our way up to the Fushimi Inari Shrine. They call it Kitsune Udon because it's served with abarage or deep fried tofu on top. And supposedly, foxes really dig that. The foxes really... All right, I'm sorry. Future Sasha, let me know. Do you like it? Kitsune Udon time. I'm excited for this one because Kitsune Udon is one of my favorites in the world. Udon is typically a very thick noodle. As you can see, they've attempted to replicate that, but they're still pretty thin. Instant noodles are hard. Packaging, give it a 7. I think it's descriptive, but not necessarily pretty. Give these noodles. I take back my initial distaste for the noodles. Those are great. I love them. They get a 9. Let's try this topping, this tofu skin, which is typical for a Kitsune Udon. It's pretty good. It's sweet like it's supposed to be, so we'll give it an 8. For toppings, just because I wish there were more of them. Let's try the broth. That's pretty good too. This is a good cup. Good for lunch. I give the broth a 9 as well. It's pretty good. It's very spot on as far as traditional ramen or Kitsune Udon will be. This is Manchokunin ramen. Apparently it is half buckwheat noodles, and so whole wheat supposedly more healthy. And this is a guilt-free treat. How guilty do you feel, Future Sasha? I'm very excited about this one. The noodles look very thin and fun, and the toppings are also great. Let me give you a peek. And the cutest thing about this bowl of ramen is that they packed a little nori packet for you all by itself so it doesn't get soggy. So I'm gonna add that to the ramen very quickly. Look, these 2 little sheets. Just stick that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and give the toppings here a 9. There is an entire fish cake in it, so that is very exciting. And it has the paper, the little nori sheets as well, so that's great. I just wish there were more toppings. Let's try these noodles because they are thin and very exciting. Okay, those are complex. They're very chewy, which I think we expected, and they're definitely more of a robust noodle. So I'm gonna give them an 8. Let's try the soup. That's a 10. It's a shoyu broth. It's very strong. I think you can use more or less of it to weaken or strengthen the taste per your taste themselves. And then let's rate the packaging. It's kind of traditional feeling. I will give it a 7 as well. This is a good lunch ramen. I'm pretty appreciative of this. Hopefully it keeps me full. Next up, we've got a Taunton Man. It looks a little bit spicy, but the package says don't worry about that. The only difference between a Taunton Man and a ramen is, I don't know, but I'll Google it. Thicker sauce, is that right? I don't know. You tell me, Future Sasha. So Taunton Man ended up just being a Japanese interpretation of the Chinese ramen, so wild. Let's give it a taste. Packaging, very fun, very descriptive. I'm gonna give it a 7. The toppings, limited to scallions, and it looks like some sesame. Oh, and some meatballs. I'm gonna give this an 8. That's some good combination of toppings. Let's try the noodles. Springy noodles, I appreciate it. And this is just all around really good. I want to say 8 for the noodles, 10 for the broth. That's super flavorful, nice, not very spicy. I'm so into this. This is something I would buy on like mainline. Back to you, past Sasha. Last but not least, the one I am excited about, the cheese cup star ramen. Look at that mouse. It's Tom and Jerry. Aw, precious. Apparently, Tom and Jerry collaborated with Cupstar to make anniversary ramen for their 80th anniversary, and that's super fun. Cheesu. Shio. Very cute. Is it delicious though? Yes, it's finally time to have this really cool ramen. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right off the bat that the packaging gets a 10 because it has cartoon characters on it. Fillings, let me get you filled in on that. You can see the toppings imitate little blocks of cheese. It's literally the cutest thing. I love it so much. I do not know what it tastes like, so let's give it a shot. Yeah, it's cheese, I think. It's good. I love it. So toppings get a 10 because they're cute as heck. Let's try these noodles. Noodles are standard, they get a 7. They're good cup noodle ramen noodles, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary. And then the broth is a Cheesu Shio. It tastes cheesy and salty. It's like really great actually. The broth will get a 10 as well. Back to you, past Sasha. And that's it for this box of ramen. The top contender ended up being this guy, which I obviously enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, and I will see you next time. I put out videos every Tuesdays and Fridays, which is new. Kind of, but it might not be new to you because who knows when I'll finish all these ramen. So thank you for watching. I'll see you. Bye-bye.